Since last time, I got the wood pieces I cut painted and glued to the table. And with the crossing done, I can now move on to putting the gravel down on the road. And I'll also put the gravel down around the shed and the drives while I'm at it. And something that should be noted about this shed is that just recently I realized that I messed up on this, because my original plan was that this was supposed to be a pole shed. I actually made that plan back when I was designing the table. And unfortunately, I didn't put anything of that down on paper, just made a mental note of it, and totally forgot about it up until just recently. And being that I've only got a week left till the upcoming show in April, I'm going to just leave this as is, because I really don't have time to go back and correct it. So the glue's down, and for gravel I'm going to be using fine ballast. This is gray number B1375, and I find this gives the look of limestone chip. And I'm going to be very careful with how I spread this around the crossing area. So, progress report. Got all the gravel down and went ahead and sprayed it with my glue mixture, so it's locked down, secured, not going to go anywhere. And you'll notice that the road is clean, and I made this to depict the look of tar and chip. And around the shed, the drives are dirty, got some dirt in there, a little bit of grass, especially around this drive right here, because I want this to look less used. And part of why I did this was because I wanted to separate the drives around the shed from the main road. And being that I used the same type of gravel for both, it was one way to get around that. So, yeah. Another thing I did since I last recorded was I put the turf down on this pasture field right here. And I didn't put any grass around here, because this area is going to be sort of an entrance into a gate. So I'm yet to do that. Another something I did was put turf down on this embankment and this hay field right here. Yes, I was playing around with it a little bit. And I also put in the entranceway for the field, and still a little bit work to do there. This grass here, you probably notice, looks a little different from everything else. This I just put down recently, and everything over here has been glued down and the excess swept off. I'm yet to go back and spray the glue mixture over all this, but that'll have to wait. So pretty much all the putting down turf and gravel and everything's done, other than that little spot right there. And after that, I can go ahead and ballast the tracks, and that'll basically be it. So, yeah, getting close to being done. Wanted to show you all the shed and how it's coming along so far. Just move it over here a little closer. So far, I've sprayed this with a coat of primer, sanded it, and sprayed it with another coat of primer. And I'm thinking one more sanding and one final coat of primer, and then I can go ahead and put the white trim on the shed. And then also I'm going to paint the walls inside white. and afterwards I can go ahead and put some of these door decals on. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use. Might have to print off some more though. But then afterwards I'm going to put some signs and banners on the walls and such. And I don't have any window decals at the moment, so I'm going to have to print off some of those as well. But I think this shed's going to look pretty good once it's done. So while there's still a bit of work that needs to be done to this table before it's finished, I personally think it looks pretty good so far, and starting to feel pretty confident I can have this done sometime here next week. But I think until next time, I'll go ahead and start working on these bridges, get them cleaned up and painted, and that'll basically be another thing off my to-do list.